Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFLTV. I'm here with Dazn's own Alfie Sharman. Alfie, we're here in Leeds. We've got a huge main event ahead of us. But I tell you what, this Dazn schedule has been phenomenal. If you just go to Haney Garcia, into the Canelo Munguia, into the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, into this one, into the 5v5. I mean, there's more to come. But how happy are you right now with the schedule you've got ahead of you?
Extremely happy. Yeah. I mean, you said it there. It's been quite a run for. I mean, it feels like a lot longer than a month. I mean, it has been longer than a month, but for the kind of top tier shows. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, that's what we're all about. We're all about value and schedule. So it's a very good run. Next week, as you say, over in Riyadh again for the 5v5. And then June and July are already shaping up nicely, August. So very good for us, yeah.
You just obviously people know the schedule right now in terms of what's immediately happening in this Josh Taylor Cattle rematch and then the 5v5. But beyond that, in June and to July, can you let the people know what's happening?
Yeah, so we've got Bam, Estrada, obviously coming up, Denny Cash.
Spot.
Yeah. I mean, to name just two, we've obviously got a ton of our X Series shows coming up as well. We've got an X Series show in the States tonight as well, and then of course, looking into August. There's a lot that I can't disclose right now, but we're working through in the summer. So, yeah, fights every week for the next 12 weeks. So very good. The team are busy, but we're not stopping there. So it's good. It's good for us.
I hope you can disclose something, because I spoke to Eddie at the beginning of the week, and he said, coming off that Undisputed Heavyweight fight with Tyson Fury at Usyk, he said the numbers for Dazn were fantastic. Now, I don't know if you can elaborate a little bit more for me in terms of pay-per-view and subscriptions.
They were outstanding. I mean, that's a build. No, they were. I mean, obviously, as you know, I can't disclose actual numbers, but we're talking seven-figure numbers over the month period, which is outstanding for us. And for this week, as an example, which is part of your subscription, obviously excluding the States where our friends at Top Rank had the show, but globally, the numbers that we brought in from even before Haney Garcia, but if we use these 3 weeks as an example, Haney Garcia, Canelo Munguia, and then Fury Usyk, globally, the numbers that we brought in, who can then view this weekend as part of their subscription, is it's part of our strategy and delivering value. We're obviously acknowledging that I think everyone can agree the fights that we've had recently are pay-per-view shows, but obviously back-to-back pay-per-views is sometimes not ideal for people. This show perfectly slots in there and presents value, so we anticipate huge numbers again tonight as well. But very good, very good. It's a great run, and long may it continue.
Alfie, you know yourself, you need the fights to put on these magnificent shows. Haney Garcia being one of them, then going into Canelo Munguia, the Undisputed Heavyweight title. Even this one here, Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor, even though there isn't a world title on the line or unified or undisputed for them two, but it is a grudge match which has captured the imagination. You need to keep these fights going. You need to find these matchups. I know you're not a matchmaker, but I'm sure you have some say in what you want and the fights that you need on Dazn. So what have these conversations been like with Eddie Hearn?
Been very good with Eddie. I mean, Eddie obviously understands our business, gets our business, and is one of, if not the best in the world at what he does. And then we're very fortunate at Dazn that we've got a vast network of promoters that we work with. I think it's 27 promoters that we work with worldwide. We're not one of these broadcasters who has an exclusive deal and that's all we do. We work with everyone. So I don't think there's a better circumstance that we could be in to put in the shows. Obviously, they need to make sense for the fighters, for the promoters, for the broadcaster. More often than not, they do. And obviously, with our friends in Riyadh now making the big top shows and incentivising people to fight each other, it's great. And I think I'll pause on that because if you look at Bam Estrada, for example, that's an unbelievable fight. I mean, Bam's obviously coming off of a great fight with Sonny, which was incredible. But that's an unbelievable fight, and that's in a few weeks, obviously, stateside. So these types of fights we're working on constantly, and our promoters know the brief. Our promoters, believe it or not, also want to make the best fights in the world. There's a misconception that people don't want the best fights. It's not that. It's just that sometimes it's just not possible for various reasons. But fortunately, at the moment, it seems to me that they're all coming together, which is good.
Obviously, we're a UK channel, and we want to see the fights here in the UK. We know the magnificent stuff that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is doing out there in Riyadh, bringing these big fights that we all want to see. But for the UK fans, this fight here, Taylor Catterall's captured imagination. But do you feel any pressure in terms of getting the fights here in the UK and putting on these big shows here in the UK for yourselves, the broadcaster, and for the UK fans?
Healthy pressure, yeah. I suppose the answer is yes, but You know, and if you look at the Dazn schedule for the last 4 years, there's been very few periods during that where we've had no shows. We've you know, genuinely have over 150 fight nights a year. Obviously, there are a minimum of 6 fights within those, so it's testing my maths now, but you're talking about close to 1,000 fights, right? So, yeah, yeah, I mean, there is pressure because we're a business and we want to provide value, but we're delivering it, and that's part of the job. So I think, hopefully, our UK fans, certainly from what we're seeing and the various, you know, kind of tools that we use to understand the customer base, everyone's very happy at the moment. They will quickly not be happy if we take our foot off the gas, so we have no intention of doing that.
Alfie, I'll end it on this because you'll probably give me a diplomatic answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. This 5v5, Frank Warren versus Eddie Hearn, who's winning? Who's
winning? That's a good question.
You're a draw, aren't you?
No, I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to say a draw. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. I think if I got put on the spot and had to answer, which I have been, I would probably say Matchroom edge it. But
do you think it'll come down to the captains? I think captains get double points. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say. Thanks for that. I was going to say I think the captains are going to have a sway. But the beauty of it and the beauty of boxing generally, you know, more broadly, is there's a puncher's chance in every show. But you ask me, and I say I think if I had to choose, maybe Matchroom might just edge it, but who knows? I'll maybe stand in here in 2 weeks' time and it's 5-0 Frank.
There you go. Yeah. Listen, it's 50-50, right?
Yeah, 50-50, 5v5. Obviously, Bivol on the card as well, so it wasn't the fight that we liked. Wish Artur to be of speedy recovery, but he's fighting still, so what a night we have ahead of us.
Definitely, I'm flying out there and I cannot wait. Alfie, thank you so much, and let's enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Wall Street Memes Casino.
I'm fine.
And Sportsbook.